Whispers of Lavender. In the quiet village of Avonlea, nestled between rolling lavender fields and whispering pines, lived a young woman named Alara. She was a florist, known for her delicate touch with blooms and her silent strength. Every morning before dawn, she walked barefoot into the fields, collecting dew-kissed lavender, daisies, and wild roses, weaving them into arrangements that spoke of hope and healing. Her life was peaceful, but touched by solitude. Since her parents passed when she was 16, Alara had learned to find comfort in nature, in petals and poems, in music and moonlight. She believed in love, not the loud kind, but the one that lingers like a scent long after the flower has faded. One summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky blushed in hues of gold and rose, a stranger arrived in Avonlea. He was tall, with a quiet sadness in his eyes, and carried a leather-bound journal under his arm. His name was Lucien, a travel writer seeking inspiration after a broken engagement and a heart too tired to believe in love again. Lucien wandered into Alara's flower shop the next morning. The soft chime of the bell rang, and their eyes met, hers calm like a still lake, his stormy like a sea after rain. He asked for a bouquet, not for anyone, he said, but for himself. To remember that beauty still exists, he whispered. Alara smiled and chose lavender, eucalyptus, and one ivory rose. Lavender for peace, eucalyptus for healing, and a white rose for new beginnings. That simple exchange turned into many more. Lucien would visit the shop every few days, each time buying a different bouquet, each time asking Alara what the flowers meant. He began jotting her words in his journal. Over time, he started writing again, not just about places, but about her. They walked together through the lavender fields at dusk, sharing secrets under twilight skies. Alara showed him her favorite tree, an old oak she used to read under as a child. Lucien shared lines of poems he never dared publish. They listened to the wind, to the rhythm of silence, to the growing echo of something neither dared name. One rainy night, as thunder rumbled in the distance, Lucien stood at Alara's door, soaked and breathless. He handed her a wrapped parcel, a copy of his new manuscript, dedicated to the girl who taught me that hearts, like flowers, can bloom again. Inside the final chapter, he wrote, "If I ever forget what love feels like, I will remember her hands weaving lavender in the morning, the way she looked at the sky like it was speaking to her, and the way she made me believe in quiet miracles." Alara looked up at him, tears in her eyes. "I was always waiting," she whispered. "Not for someone perfect. Just someone who saw me." Lucien stepped closer, cupping her face with trembling hands. "I see you. I always did." Their first kiss tasted like rain and lavender, like pages turning in an old book, like a promise finally spoken. Years passed, and the people of Avonlea often saw them walking hand in hand through the fields, laughing softly, or sitting beneath the old oak tree reading stories aloud. Alara kept her flower shop, and Lucien wrote many more books, all inspired by love, peace, and the girl with lavender in her soul. And when they were old and gray, they still woke before dawn, walked barefoot through the fields, and whispered to each other in the language of flowers, a language they had created together. The melody of us. In the quiet town of Avonlea, nestled between golden meadows and whispering woods, lived a young pianist named Evelyn Hart. Her world was a melody of black and white keys, where each note carried the emotion her heart couldn't speak aloud. She lived alone in an old cottage inherited from her grandmother, filled with ivy-covered windows, the scent of lavender, and the sound of music floating endlessly through the rooms. Evelyn's days were quiet, often spent teaching children piano during the mornings and composing her own pieces in the late afternoons. But her nights were where her heart truly lived, when the world was silent, and she played under the dim glow of a single lamp. Music, for her, was love. And yet, she had never known it. Until him. One rainy evening in early autumn, Evelyn's peaceful world shifted. She had been invited to play at the town's annual fall festival. The event, held in the community hall, was always warm and welcoming. Pies, laughter, string lights, but Evelyn had never performed there. She was shy and private, more comfortable with the company of melodies than people. She nearly said no. But something inside her longed to step beyond her little world. So she said yes. The night of the performance, the rain fell gently outside, a soft rhythm like a heartbeat. Evelyn sat at the grand piano, her fingers trembling slightly. She closed her eyes and played a piece she had written, untitled, unfinished, but filled with yearning. The room fell silent as her music washed over them. In the crowd stood a man named Liam Rivers, a traveling photographer passing through Avonlea in search of something he couldn't name. He had planned to leave the next morning, but the moment he heard Evelyn's music, he stayed. It was as if the song had called to a part of him long forgotten. After her performance, Liam found her by the cider table, her cheeks still flushed from the music. "That piece you played," he said, gently, "it felt like someone remembering love for the first time." Evelyn blinked. No one had ever described her music like that before. They talked. And kept talking. He told her of the places he'd been, the deserts of Morocco, the alleys of Prague, the mountains of Japan. She told him about the woods behind her cottage, how the light hit her piano in the morning, how she once named a tree after a Chopin prelude. They laughed, and something warm settled between them. Liam extended his stay. What began as coffee and conversation turned into long walks through the forest, nights stargazing on her porch, and afternoons where she played while he took photos. He captured her not just with his camera but with his heart, her soft concentration when she composed, the way she smiled with her eyes, the way she listened to silence. Evelyn, in turn, found in Liam something she didn't know she was missing. His presence grounded her. He made her see the world outside the notes, the color of. They wrote letters, real ones, sealed with wax and filled with poems and little sketches. He sent her photos from Paris, of raindrops on glass and violins on bridges. She sent him new compositions, each a piece of her longing. Months passed. And then, one snowy January morning, Evelyn walked into her garden and found him standing there, cold, smiling, holding a camera in one hand and a small velvet box in the other. "I've seen the world," Liam said, "but none of it looked right without you." Tears welled in her eyes as he knelt. "Evelyn Hart, will you be the melody to the rest of my life?" She nodded, too full to speak, and kissed him. Years later, people spoke of the woman who played piano in the ivy-covered cottage, and the man who photographed the world but always returned to her. They said that if you passed by on a warm evening, you could hear music drifting through the air, a piano and a laugh, a camera shutter and a kiss. And if you stayed long enough, you'd understand what love truly sounded like.